Hi, how y'all doing? Name's Ben. I bet you, probably heard of me somewhere along the way. It's because of my good hat. That's what I'm figuring. I've had a couple of good hats. It's a friend of mine. I know him by the name of Kyle. He had me show off my hat at the library, and then they had a news crew there, so I had to show off my hat there on that news crew too. I just walked behind him. You know, I figure every feller ought to have him a good hat. At least one. Now, here's something I'd like you to think about. That's the honest truth. If somebody lied to me for, 2 to 5 years, and they told you something, and you knew they lied to me that whole time, are you smart enough to figure out to stop trusting them? You think they told you the truth? It's just something to consider. If they lied to me that long? Let me tell you about this lip smacking thing. See, I was down in Knoxville, Tennessee. And down there they spent 2 years trying to get me upset. They got mad at me one time. Big group did. Gang stalking's illegal, by the way. Any decent judge, when I go to sue them for whatever it is they sold and never paid me anything, I'm serious. Any decent judge. Whew. I don't care who the lawyer is. Even the lawyer's got a heart, and he's got decency, and he knows that we're either going to make this country better or we're going to make it worse. It ain't about the money sometimes. Sometimes it's about, our country was going downhill, and we could get it turned around, or we could keep on doing the stuff that we know screwing everything up. But anyway, they spent 2 years trying to get me to go off on them. I had guns in my face. I had knives, a gun down there. Knives put in my face. I got beat on. I had a rock thrown at my nose so hard that it bounced off my nose and bounced off my shoulder. My nose bleeding all over the place, and it scraped my shoulder. Boom. They wouldn't let me sleep. All kinds of stuff. They messed with me bad. Got pissed off at me. And told me, looked me square in the eye, one of them, and told me, "You are the hardest person on the planet to pick a fight with." Well, I took it as a compliment. I try to follow that Galatians chapter 5, fruit of the Spirit. I try real hard. Real hard. It ain't easy. It's difficult. Anywho, so if somebody has lied to you, or lied to myself for that many years, why would you trust them if you knew they was lying to myself? Now here's what I did. I studied. I got some questions myself when it comes to that difficult path, but that's the path to life. And if I could get some truthful people to be truthful, well, that is what it says. Maybe they'd walk up to me and they'd have this scripture, that scripture, the other scripture, and be all like, "Well, what about these scriptures?" And I'd add to my studies. This is what it says. And we keep on working on it together like we are supposed to do. Anywho, so maybe you know how to hear. Maybe you did not know what you know. Maybe you not understand what you understand. Or maybe you do. And there's little tidbits and pieces. But I wanted you to be more than ignorant. I'd rather you have discernment and not be ignorant, but have some discernment. I'd rather you be able to understand some stuff. Now, here's something real easy. When it comes to the music work, that's a different work. When it comes to my Bible studies, that's my Bible studies. Am I at a pulpit there? No. Am I at a pulpit now? No. If a church wants me to preach, they'd invite me. They'd say, "Hey, Ben." They'd get right a hold of me on Facebook. I'm real easy to find. I'm Benjamin Joseph Pack. That's really my name. I've had my ID checked over the last half a decade so many times, it's plumb ridiculous. Anywho, I think I only get 5 minutes on this thing, so yeah, have a good one.